Plants are kind of weird. I mean, just look at them. They don't even do anything. If it weren't for me, the plant in my living room wouldn't be very living. But what do they actually do then? A lot, actually. It all starts with the plants consuming sunlight. This is the first step of photosynthesis. But what is photosynthesis actually? Well, photosynthesis is how a plant makes its own food. It does that with two different processes. The first one is the light reaction. A plant has these special molecules called pigments that absorb the sun's light. Different pigments are better at absorbing different colors, which is actually why most plants have that green color. It's because their molecules have trouble absorbing green, which gives the plants a greenish color. The light catched by these pigments are used to charge up an electron within the thylakoid membrane, right here in the photosystem 2. That charged up electron goes flying down a chain of molecules like a hot potato nobody wants to hold. Are you with me yet? No? Great! So we have a pigment that catches sunlight, the sunlight charges up the electron, and the electron gets carried by an electron carrier to carry the carried electron so it can activate the rest of the machines. But now the photosystem 2 needs a new electron for the next time this process needs to take place. That's where water comes into play. So a plant takes water, rips it apart, uses the electron from the hydrogen molecule to replenish the electron lost in the photosystem 2. The oxygen molecule is thrown away as trash, and the hydrogen molecule, which lost its electron, is left aside for now to swim inside the thylakoid for later use. Remember that electron that was being carried? It's now still being carried around to start the other organelles, like the proton pump. But just like you, it doesn't last very long, which is why it gets activated again in the photosystem 1. So the electron gets activated in PS1. After that, an enzyme called NADP reductase uses that energy to take NADP plus and turn it into NADPH, which is a molecule that stores energy, which is also important for the Calvin cycle. Hold your horses now, we're still not done with the light reactions. The last step of the light reaction happens in the ATP synthase complex. Now the ATP synthase caches in all those protons you've been piling up on the lumen side due to the abundance of electronless hydrogen atoms, which at this point are basically just protons. The environment has become incredibly crowded, and the only way to escape is through the ATP synthase. So as the protons rush out through ATP synthase, they release a lot of energy. This gives the enzyme the opportunity to bind a phosphate group to another molecule called ADP, otherwise known as adenosine diphosphate. This creates ATP, one of the most well-known energy-storing molecules in our bodies. So we completed the light reactions, and now we have all this ATP and NADPH. But what are we going to do with it now? The Calvin cycle, of course. You idiot. To begin the Calvin cycle, we use a molecule called RUBP, also known as ribulose bisphosphate. Think of ribulose bisphosphate as the plant's mousetrap. It sits there waiting to snatch a CO2 so it can finally start the Calvin cycle. The Calvin cycle starts when a CO2 molecule bonds with ribulose bisphosphate and turns into a molecule with 6 carbon atoms. The thing is, though, this molecule is actually unstable, so it breaks down immediately. Now that the 6 carbon molecule has been split in 2 identical 3 carbon molecules, we can finally make glucose, which is basically the plant's food, and the only reason all of this even happens. So we have the 3 PGA molecules and turn them into glucose by using the ATP and NADPH we made in the light reactions. These molecules are broken down for energy and turned back into ADP and NADP+, but a byproduct of the carbon molecule still remains. So, what are we going to do with it then? Well, since we need to repeat this cycle for the next one, let's just slap some ATP on it and turn it back into ribulose bisphosphate. This gets reused for the next cycle. All right, that's all.